All right, baby. Here we go. We got Mr. Josh Wilson, owner of the Vault in Sarasota. I'm happy to have you on, man.
Absolutely, man.
Happy to have you on.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for bringing me out.
Of course, man. Of course. He just had his new baby, so how's that going, man?
Yeah, it's going great, man. It's going good. Sleep, honestly, is not as bad as a lot of people made it seem like it was going to be, so that's good. But, my wife is helping out tremendously, so...
Nice. You know what you got to do, though? You got to post more pictures, okay? You got to post more pictures.
Congratulations.
And congratulations for sure. But
thank you.
literally, bro, when was the due date?
The due date was, he was 2 weeks late. 2 weeks and 3 days late.
Okay.
So I didn't remember.
See, because that was a problem, because my phone was getting blown up like a week, right? Because I know you guys posted the due date.
Yeah.
And then Tali and Browner were blowing my phone up. What's going on with the baby? And we thought there might have been complications, but it was just late. And we were like, I think it's fine. I think I would have talked. I think Josh probably would have messaged me, and then you messaged me the pictures and I sent it straight to him. So they're really excited, man. Yeah. Did they reach out to you?
Yeah. Everyone reached out. Everyone was awesome. I see Bree once in a while. She gets her hair cut up at.
Yeah. Oh, she's over there with Smiley?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I see her once in a while. She's so awesome.
No, Brianna's the biggest sweetheart.
Yeah. But everyone's messaging me and stuff like
nice.
that. Super
well, we all have kids here then,
Yeah.
How's it feel being a dad, though?
It's good, man. I like it a lot. My life has slowed down a little bit, but I like it. I worked hard to get to that point. I can't imagine if I had a kid, when you had Baron.
Yeah.
That would be crazy to me. I can't even fathom. But
coming up in the business and then having a kid. I actually had 2 kids at that point. So because Athena's 5 now, and I started my business in 2021. So it's crazy. But yeah, guys, today we're gonna really get into this. I want to talk about how did me and Josh get to the point we're at, right? Where you're self-efficient now. I feel like you've done a great job. You started at a commercial level. You worked your way up. I did the complete opposite. I just went in there guns blazing by myself. If you guys don't know, it was Around the Clock Fitness. ATC, baby, back in the day. Yeah. So me and Josh were actually trainers there. We actually trained there for probably a good year until they shut down. We were there, right?
Yeah.
And out of all the people there, you were the one person that always had clients. I had clients, you had clients. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to that point.
So, I started out, I think I first started as a trainer in 2011. So a long time ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Like 13, 14 years, whatever.
Yep. What gym?
And UFit.
Okay.
Yeah, so my first job was at UFit in Venice. Then I moved to Northport. I was just a personal trainer for 6 months. And then I quickly moved up to being a training director. So I was overseeing other trainers. So I had between 5 and 10 trainers underneath me. One thing I like to point out to people that are starting out and just trying to make a ton of money right away, I made $8 a session when I first started as a trainer, which is so funny, right? That's so crazy.
Nuts.
Yep.
And which was, maybe 20% split or something like that. And I was happy with it.
Yeah.
I was training 18 clients a day. They're 30-minute sessions. So, but still, I was training quite a bit. I think the most I ever had was 23 in one day. And it was just constantly.
It's about 11 hours.
I don't know where I got that. That's why I say if I had a kid at that time, I don't know. Things might be drastically different.
Yeah.
But so I moved up. I was a training director for a while. Did pretty good with UFit. Had really good mentors and stuff like that working for the company. So I learned quite a bit there. Then I got a better opportunity. So when I moved up to be a training director, I was specifically management. So I wasn't doing any training on my own anymore, training people. Then I got the opportunity to work for Around the Clock Fitness, and they said, hey, listen, as a perk, they chased me for a little bit, wanted me to go there, and I was kind of happy where I was. So I was I don't want to.
So you were at UFIT all the way till Around the Clock?
Yeah, I was at UFIT for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and then finally Nonstop talked me into coming and being the director in the Sarasota location because it was horrible there. They had they had 2 trainers that worked there, and everybody just coming in and training people. How it was
exactly.
So
not me. Just letting everyone know, not me. That was not training people in there. Okay. Anyway,
but they said, hey, okay, listen, we'll let you. As long as you do the management stuff, we'll let you train people also.
Okay.
And at that point, I was making 60%, which is way better. To me, I was like, that's awesome. So I would work my 40 hours and then maybe 40 hours of training clients as well. So it was I was working like crazy. Did that for a while, and then COVID happened. Things got kind of crazy. And it reopened as Nonstop Fitness.
Yeah. So it was Around the Clock. You worked there, Nonstop open. Is that when I went there? That is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that was January 2021 is when it opened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we were like the first 2 trainers that signed up there, and it's funny because, I mean, we don't have to talk about money, but we
could talk about money.
We had a flat fee, right? Remember, it was $500 that we paid. $500 a month. You take care of all your own stuff. You train all your own people. You do billing. Your clients pay you directly. Everything's good, right? So many trainers were like, so many people were like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Me and you were like, bet, like, let's go.
No
like,
problem.
That's all you want? You sure you don't want anything else?
Yeah.
And so we were just like hustling like crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's one client, you know what I mean? For us.
Well, the crazy thing is people see that $500, but they don't see like you can make that in like half a day, like literally half a day if you bust your ass.
You can make that in a conversation with people.
You could make that in a conversation with online coaching. So in my mind, I was like, there's just no way. And at that point, you know, I went full steam. Like I didn't even know Josh before that. Actually, I just went in there, and I remember Mike, big shout out to Mike Orlando, but he convinced me to do it. Actually, he's like, dude, you should do it. I'm like, oh, fuck it. And then what happened was 2020 happened. They shut the damn country down. I used to serve tables. So they used to make me wear a mask. And I was so against it, bro, where it got to the point where I just had to quit. So I was actually serving tables. For all of you guys that don't know, I was serving tables, making $100,000 a year until about 2020. They shut the country down, shut my work down. I went back to work for a good 4 months. And then I just knew that I can't let that happen again. So I had to try something, right? And I really want to get into like, you know, just your story again, more on how you know, got to where you are. But on top of that, like just going to my story a little bit, when I left there, you know, I didn't think for a million years I'd be where I'm at today, guys. I didn't think so. I didn't think that I could come from serving tables to be making the money I am now and to have the support I have now. But the reason why I think is because, you know, we just talked about this before the podcast. I did a completely different way you did. You know, I was solo. I went in there guns blazing, first day, paid the $500, didn't give a fuck about the money because I knew the future was there, right? You did the commercial route, but you kind of had a great backing. You probably built your name up a little bit, right? Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I would say maybe the safe way, but really I just needed a job. You know what I mean? Yeah. I needed a good job, and, you know, I wanted to work my way up. I never even thought of the fact that I would ever own a gym. So in the time when I was a director and stuff, I've hired and fired probably 50 different trainers, and it always sucked to fire someone because you never want to, you know.
Exactly.
But one thing I remember sitting across from this kid, his name was Cross Lotario. I still remember his name. I don't know why, but so shout out to him if he listens. But I remember him telling me, I was like, you know, asking the stupid interview questions that you have to, and, you know, where do you see yourself in 6 years? And he said, I want to own a gym, and I didn't laugh, but I wanted to so bad because in my mind it was like so crazy to even like think of that. And I was like, okay, buddy, whatever. And then, you know, I hired him and he didn't work out. But then, you know, just so that was never in my mind. Yeah. It wasn't like this is the end goal and I have to learn as much as I can and get to that point. It was just, you know, like we all play the hands we're dealt, and, you know, that's kind of how, you know, life led me in that direction. But yeah, I mean, I definitely went the more safe route, which is kind of funny because giving anybody advice, I would say like maybe 1 in 100 people could actually do what you did and just kind of go in there and make it work yourself because of the work ethic. That's 100% why, right? Yeah. So the majority of people are not going to do that. They need their hand held for a little bit. They need to learn a little bit. I mean, myself included, so I'm not picking on anybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to learn the ground rules and, you know, learn how things work, and then, you know, then go off on your own maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a big proponent of people, like good trainers right now. Like we know so many good trainers that are at Crunch or LA Fitness or whatever, right? And I was like, there's no reason you should be splitting money with this other gym. Just go off on your own, do your own thing. And since I've had the gym, you know, the Vault, I've seen so many trainers try it out and then they're back at Crunch where they were or whatever, which no knock on them, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, because I think, you know, I want to ask you something. So we'd never had this conversation before, right? For this, why do you think I was able to do what I did in under, you know, 6 months? Why do you think so?
I mean, like I said, I would attribute the majority of it to work ethic. Obviously, you're just like built different, you know what I mean? I think we all are, but in that aspect, I think that, you know, but if you had a goal, I mean, we talked about Baron, you know, you had kids and stuff, so that kind of, you know, your mind shift changes quite a bit. You know, Dustin knows as well, so. You know, I think that, you know, when you have something to work towards, and it's not that you want, like, oh, I want to do this, it would be cool, but you're kind of put in a position where you have to make it work.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing, and I think the reason why do people hire us? Why do you think people hire us? If I walk in a room and they see me, why are they hiring me?
I don't know, man.
Why do you think?
Just the aura, what you bring in.
Not just me, not just you. What do you think?
I mean,
why would you hire me? If you walk in a room and you see me and Josh, why would you hire us?
Well, I mean, one, you guys look the part. Number
Bingo.
one, you
Bingo.
You lead by example,
Yep.
right? So you're gonna if you're sitting in a room full of trainers and then you have 2 trainers that actually stand out and look like they do this job, right?
Yep.
And they follow their lead, right? They do exactly what they preach, right?
Yep.
And then you see the rest of them, and you're like, this
Exactly.
guy kind of looks good. He might know what he's, but you guys look like you know what the fuck you're talking about,
Exactly.
right?
Yep. 100%. So you look at the past, right? I have put in this work since I was 14 years old. He's put in this work for over a decade. You put in this work for over a decade. So not only, did I have the knowledge, but I've done it myself. I've been there myself. And I think that that's the biggest mistake that new trainers make is they don't have nothing to show for it. They're either some fat guy or some skinny girl or whatever, never did shit in their life. And then you want to come in this industry and try to online coach or try to be a trainer. You don't even look the part. So first of all, the first thing people need to start doing is start looking the goddamn part. Like, I'm going to shoot it fucking straight. Like, we've put 12 years of work into our bodies. So we demand respect. Like, we know what the fuck we're doing. Like, I don't have to even say it anymore, right? Just look at my body. So I think that has a big contributing factor on top of the work hard, which we'll get in the mindset part of things. But I think just looking at me, like I was in this town for a long time. First of all, I've been here since I was 11 years old. I had a great following. I've always been really respectful to everyone. I've always had a great name. So when I first came in, I was pretty smart actually. So I talked just to be honest, I'll let you guys know what happened. So Mike, the Orlando, I knew he was a GM. I knew he was having some trouble, right? Kid couldn't even walk when I walked in the door, right? And I said, dude, like, I have an open schedule right now. Let me help you out a little bit. I was like, let me help you out. I'll train you 5 days a week for free. Literally, talk about $8, you're making $8. I trained Mike Orlando for 12 weeks for free, 5 days a week, right? Because I really just wanted to help him. I knew he was a GM. I knew maybe if anyone could help me get where I wanted to be, it would be him. I want him talking highly about me. I want to do it, right? So I trained him for free. That was a huge help to me. He was talking highly about everyone was walking in. He was like, yeah, Matt's awesome. He's helped me. And he went from not being able to walk to sprinting in 6 weeks. I don't even do that shit, but I just did it because I was passionate about it. I wanted to see this guy do better, right? Yeah. So that was one thing. A whole nother thing is, big shout out to Josh Lugo because he was my first client actually. And before Josh, pretty much my first client, but there was another client I got. It was $15 an hour. I just wanted somebody on the books. I said, dude, I was like, hey man, I'll charge you $15 a session. I'll train you 4 days a week. Like, let me just train you, right? I want to look busy, right? I want to look busy so I can make money. So I trained him and that didn't end up working out, but Josh was my first big client and I only charged him $40 an hour in the beginning. And I remember, cause I'm like, dude, I kind of felt bad. I'm like, I didn't know the pricing. I didn't know what was $6 an hour, $20 an hour. I just didn't know. So I sat down with him in a meeting. We had a meeting at Starbucks. I sat down. I've known Josh since we were kids. I didn't know how much. You never know how much money a client has, right? You don't know if they can afford it. You don't want to make the price too high, too low. Hard. I don't really know nothing about it.
Conversation to have.
So I always heard $60 is the minimum, right? But I'm like, you know what? This is my boy. Like, let me do it $40. So $40 an hour, man, that's pretty good money, right? I'm like, hey man, what do you think about $40 an hour for 10 sessions up front? And he's like, oh yeah, 100%. That's easy. So then he actually stayed with me. I transformed him, and he was one of the first big sales. And I remember when I got him, I got him as a client, dude, and I actually quit my job the next day pretty much because of Josh Lugo. He's the reason why I was able to do all this because he gave me that fire. Like he was the first big client. Like, wow, he can do that for me. Like I'm worth $40 an hour. Okay, cool. So then obviously I was whole other thing where I went a different avenue. So for us, we were there, and then Nonstop shut down. That's where I want to get into, because we had a gym to do, right? So I went to Anytime Fitness. You said, fuck all this shit. I'm going to open up my own gym. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be in control of my own damn destiny. So let's start there. So Nonstop shut down. What did you do?
Yeah. So it's funny. If you remember, Nonstop shut down immediately within an hour or so. We both have about 25 clients. So we talked about having, accumulatively we have 50 clients, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to go to a gym, tell them this is what we're going to pay. That's it.
Yep.
They're going to be happy. They get 50 new memberships.
Exactly.
We're still going to pay them the $500 a month, and we'll be happy. We kind of shopped around, just didn't really like anything. I did go to Anytime Fitness. Nothing against Bic. It wasn't really my thing. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to be at someone else's mercy again because this shit's going to happen again.
Yeah, exactly. Which it did to me.
Yeah.
And then I went to your gym, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what, like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to go for it. You know, found a place, just like did, you know, like everything just happened like perfectly in order for me to get, you know, to open it up and everything like that. Found a place, found a good deal on equipment, got the equipment. A friend helped me bring it to the gym, you know, just started moving everything in. I was training my own clients for a good 2 months. There was you know, I didn't even have a dumbbell rack yet, but I had 5 to 100 pound dumbbells in the corner. And I had, you know, 12 Cybex machines. And it was just me training my clients, and all my clients, super cool. I mean, I've had a lot of them for 4+ years, 5+ years. So I would be on the phone training people, you know, like having people come in and out, you know, building stuff, you know, whatever it is. Just kind of as I was building up the gym, I was just still training people because I need money coming in.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And so finally got it to the point where I thought it was at least okay to start letting memberships come in and stuff like that. Then I had people like Edith Driver. She's still at the gym, actually.
Nice.
I had some other trainers that were in similar situations as us, didn't know where to go. I had some of them come in, start training their own clients. Then, you know, just continuing to get like 1% better every day. I was like, man, I was making checklists of 30 things. You know, like every day I have to knock off 5 of these no matter what. I'm not going to sleep and not going to sleep until I cross off, you know, 5 of these. As soon as every 30 items checked off, wipe it off, put more stuff on there. There's endless amounts of stuff to do, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like every single day. I swear, like I was doing intermittent fasting for like 3 months just because I wanted to work, and that was it. I didn't want to stop and eat and think about what I'm going to do. Ron Early, shout out to him if he watches this, I don't know, but he was one of the first people that came into the gym. And I remember when he saw me, he was like, "Josh, are you cutting for a show?" And I was like, "No, dude, I just been working like 24/7." So I was just working like crazy, and I lost a lot of weight. I actually had signed up for a powerlifting meet like 6 months prior to all this happening. And then 3 months before the meet, I was like, "Oh shit, I got to start training for this," because I haven't even, you know. And I ended up doing good at that meet because I dropped a weight class because I lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
But then, so then I started having members come in and stuff like that. So now we're rolling good, you know. One thing, I was like scared shitless of not making it, you know, like I swear, like the fear of failure. I don't care. Like a lot of people won't mention it or whatever. I don't care. Like, you know, I'll say like the fear of failure literally kept me up at night. So I was like doing single thing I could think of just to make it work. And I mean, I think you were there when it was still happening, but I was renting out. There was like 6 parking spots I was renting out to like dump trucks.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I hired a barber to sublease to get some passive income. Now I have in the vault room, I have a kickboxing lady that's subleasing that. But so I was just doing all these different things just to, you know, like be able to make money because I just wanted to make sure that I was able to, you know, get everything going. Yeah. Plus now it's like, you know, at that time it was like I have all these clients relying on me. I have all these people that are paying for a membership of this gym. That if it doesn't work out, I'm going to have to explain to everybody that, you know.
Yeah. So pretty much by definition, like you are an entrepreneur, you know, you are a risk taker. You are the 1%. You have something that nobody has, to be honest with you, because, you know, you lost a good place to work. And I know it took a lot of balls and a lot of, again, fear of failure to open up your own gym and to give it everything you got. I'm sure it cost some money opening it up day one. I know we talked about this before, but you were training your clients just to pay rent for a minute there, right? Yeah. When you first opened. So, you know, it's definitely remarkable to see that you've come so far and to watch it. And that's again, when we did this podcast, when we thought about this, you're the first person I thought of, because in this town, people have made it, right? I think Big Serb's doing amazing. I think Dustin, I think Raven, I think there's people that have made it, but you know, to come from nothing pretty much where you came from and being where you're at, it's crazy, you know, and now that you're here, do you think it's worth it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate you saying all that, man. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely do, man. I think that now it's funny. I always say it like this. So when I was managing all these trainers and doing all this stuff, I was so annoyed with like someone's not wearing the right shirt, so I got to write them up, or I have to send them home. Now I have to train their clients that day, you know, just like the stupidest stuff all the time, right? So I constantly, like eventually, I just said, you know what, fuck it. I just want to do everything on my own, right? Yeah. Then 3 months down the road, the gym's going, and I'm like, fuck, man, I have to do everything on my own. But when I'm stressed out it's on me. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not someone above me's yelling at me. I'm not trying to like hit some deadline. I have a boss being a dick to me. You know, it's just like everything is on me. So if I want to work harder, I can, or if I want to slack off because I just had a baby, I can. You know, but once I kind of got everything set up the right way, everything's pretty good.
And you said you make those checklists, right? Like you made the checklist. When you're an entrepreneur, I don't want you guys to know, like you're always working. Like there is no more vacations. There's nothing, guys. There's just work on top of work on top of work. And you probably think about work all day, right? Yeah. How can I make more money? How can I invest this? I got to message these clients because you're still probably doing one-on-one training, right? Absolutely. You got to collect payment. You got to figure out all that. Like there's so much that goes into it that people don't realize. On top of it, I'm sure there's liability things you got to get. I'm sure there's like just everything else that comes in it. And you had the balls to do it. It's paying off for you, which is crazy. And it's very rare. So why do you think, so you think it's just straight hard work, like just work ethic and ability to want to do better for yourself and your family? Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah. I definitely say work ethic. So, one piece of advice I always give anybody, like literally anybody starting out, anyone trying to do anything, is don't ever let not knowing how to do something stop you from doing that thing that you're talking. We have YouTube now. You can YouTube literally anything.
YouTube University.
It doesn't matter. I attribute that to work ethic. So like you don't have to be skilled and good and knowledgeable. Like you don't have to train for a couple of years under somebody that really knows what they're doing like you, right? So you just that's part of work ethic, is figuring it out on your own. When you're studying, when you're learning stuff, you're working. You know what I mean? Like you're not at work, but you're working 24/7, like you said.
I'm sure there's situations that we could look back in the past. Like when I was 16 years old, I was broke as shit. I was really poor, guys, when I was young. I'm not gonna lie, I did not have much money. So I had a 1994 Buick Century. The brakes didn't work. I had to use the e-brake. Literally, swear to God, guys, e-brake for like 6 months because the e-brake. But whatever, it was the only car I had. I just had to make it work, right? So the starter went on it, and Josh hit the nail on the head. Even at such a young age, I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna YouTube how to do a fucking starter. I'm gonna go underneath there. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video, and I'm just gonna do it. So that's what I did. And again, what you said, it's you. I didn't know how to do it, but YouTube's there. Motherfucker, stop being lazy. Just do the goddamn work, especially if you're broke. And, I think that just showed a lot right there for me. I knew I always had the work ethic. Like my mom was really good, but I'm sure there's some situations in your past where it started probably from a young age. Do you think that you were born with just a different mindset or what?
I think so. I mean, I think I went through a lot of stuff when I was younger that made me kind of look at things a little bit differently. Honestly, one of the best things, like I see like Barron going crazy with football and everything else. One of the best things, my mom had me in sports 24/7, like baseball, soccer when I was younger, and then I wrestled, and I really liked wrestling. I really did good at wrestling, and I think that was the number one sport that taught me so much. Yeah, because it was literally there's two people, and the one that gives up first loses, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lose. So you might be better than me, but I'm not going to give up, and you're eventually going to give up, and I'm going to beat you.
Exactly.
So that's kind of, and that's just how life is now, that's how this whole journey's been, the whole gym thing. I'm not going to give up. Yeah. And like with entrepreneurs, there's people there's a select few that make it, right? And then there's a lot of people that don't make it. The only difference is the people that made it just didn't give up. Yeah. Obviously the people that didn't make it finally threw in the towel. Mm-hmm. The people that made it just figured it out, said, I'm not giving up. I'll figure it out somehow. Eventually, things pay off.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you look at what, you were taught this at a young age, when we're in football practice and we're in baseball practice, how many practice hours do we have to do to get to the game? You have how many? Fucking 100 hours, 1,000 hours until you get to a game, whatever, like a lot of hours, right? So it takes a long time to get that end result. And a lot of people, nobody likes practicing, but you have to practice to get better. And you have to really push hard to be good at the fucking game. And people give up before they even start. How many times have we seen it, especially how many times have we seen it where we see people come out, guys, I'm online coaching, and then they just disappear from the face of the earth. You know why? Because you start something and you don't finish it. When you start something, you have to be a man of your word. Like you have to keep to it. Yeah. Nobody's going to hire you guys day one when you do it. So what's your advice to people that say, guess what? I'm going to start online coaching. What's your advice to them?
So honestly, You're gonna mess with me about this. I still don't do much online coaching at all. Yep. You've been bugging me about it for like 5 years.
You're fucking crazy, bro. But whatever.
But
crazy.
I would say honestly, this is just my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Don't go straight to being an online trainer. that should be, you know, after you're a personal trainer a little bit, learn the ropes and something like that. Online training is something that you pick up like kind of on the side. Because I think that there's too many people that are looking for passive income to start. Like, motherfucker, get active income first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you need to get busy. And then, you know, let that, like if you get too busy being a personal trainer, take on some of those clients, switch them to online clients, whatever. But yeah, I don't love people that just want to go, you know, sit at home on the computer for, you know, like 3 hours and then call it a day, then go fishing or, you know, do whatever. Like, you got to put in work.
100%. And, you know, let's go back in time. You know, 2021, guys, all my business is online now. I work 3 hours a day, Monday and Tuesday, and that's it, right? And that's because I choose to. I love my clients. I want to still give back, right? But I could technically just be done and just be online. I don't want to. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I don't mind it, but it's fine. But again, like you said, I want to be in it. I want to be active. If you go back 2021, guys, I was working 40, 50 hours a week, training literally 8 hours a day. I would train for 4 hours, take a break for an hour, and then train for 4 hours again. I would get home at 7, 8 o'clock at night. Actually, maybe sometimes 10 o'clock at night, dude. Lugo's motherfucker ass, he was making me train him like at 10 o'clock at night, dude. I wouldn't get home until 11. This little shit. But bro, I work all, okay, I want that fucking money. I don't want that money. I'm going to fucking be there. And I was willing to sacrifice that. I remember at the time, like, dude, it was bad because I felt like I was kind of neglecting my kids a little bit because I was working so much, but I had no choice. I was the only one making money. So I had no choice but to put in that fucking work. And then over time, exactly what you said. So people want to go in online. And yes, it's good, but exactly what you said, you start slow with that. You have to build it. That's something that takes years, but you need active money now. And so as I was growing, and okay, guys, I have an extra, let's say $5,000 here, right? Okay, I could take a day off, an extra $5. Okay, let's take this day off. And then you just get to a point where it's like, you're going to start leaning that out. And then your time, you know, you pay for your time now. Before you're working for time, and now you're the opposite pretty much. So I don't know, man, it's crazy to look back and see, you know, and where you're at now is, I'm sure there's so much advice we can give, and we're going to keep going because I feel like a lot of people start and they just give up, you know? Yeah. So
like when you started commercially, in going from UFit into becoming, basically, you were the GM over at Nonstop or
I was
ATC?
the training director.
Okay, so you were the training director at UFit and then became training director at ATC?
Yeah.
How many of those UFit clients did you bring over to?
Not many. No? They were kind of being kind of crazy about like a non-compete and all that stuff, and like that's a whole nother corporate nightmare.
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I mean it was like what
are they gonna do?
It's an intimidation factor.
Pretty much.
They're not gonna do anything. You know, exactly. Like they can't do anything at all.
Okay.
I mean, they can take you to court and say that, you know, like, oh, you like they show that you took a bunch of you know, like money from them, revenue from them, but like it's more so an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
But I didn't really take that many clients. I don't even know if I took any from UFit. But as I worked at Around the Clock, I mean, one thing is like I have in my phone, I have contacts from, you know, maybe 2020 at least, you know what I mean? So everyone I've ever trained, you know, I would send them advice and, you know, whatever. So I'd have people's phone numbers, even when I worked for a corporate gym, you know, I'd have their numbers in my phone. So people would hit me up and I'm like, yeah, like I'm not telling you to come over here, but if you want to come see me, like, you know where I'm at. Yeah. So, you know, slowly but surely some people started to come over, but pretty much like, honestly, when I went to Around the Clock, one of the reasons that they brought me over there was because the training department was pretty much non-existent.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So it's funny, when I started, my goals were like so low that I like, you know, like my monthly goals for sales and stuff like that, I hit in like 2 days, you know, because it was like, there's nothing going on there. But one thing you were talking about, like you were saying Josh Lugo wanted to train later and you're like, I have to do what I have to do, you know, like, so you're there all day. I can't tell you how many times I would hire a trainer at Around the Clock that was like, hey man, anything, like I'll come in anytime you want me to, I'll do whatever it takes to get clients. I'm like, all right, I got this client that signed up 3 times a week. She wants to train at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's early.
Got to get there.
You need clients. You know what I mean? This is a 3-time week client. This is a big one, you know. If you come in at, you know, that's too early for me. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'll just train them at 4:30 in the morning. Now I'm in at 4:30 in the morning. All the people that are in there at 4:30 in the morning see me on the floor. Yeah. So now I'm getting more and more clients.
Now you're getting a 5:30, then you get a 6. Yeah.
You think I'm gonna give you those clients, bro? Like, no, whatever. So I was just steady busy, and I wasn't a great manager because I just wanted to train people.
You wanted to make because you wanted to make money. Like, I'm sure you weren't making that much money being a fucking manager. Like, the money is in personal training, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, so, you're making 60% at that point?
Yeah. So which to me it was decent. I think like I was making like $60,000 a year, and I was like, to me that was $1 million.
Comfortable and
like,
good.
I was like, that was my first big boy job.
Yeah.
But so I would get, I'd get clients, I put them through, the consultation, all that stuff, sign them up, they pay. Okay, you're gonna be training with Jacob. I'm not training with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like you're going to, and then, then obviously
to
save.
Shitty?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel shitty?
Yeah. To save the sale, I'm like, all right, you can stay with me. So I wasn't the best at passing them off because I was so good at building relationships.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just hard. And plus, like, I know when a client comes to you, it's really tough to push them off because they if they message Dustin, they're going to want Dustin. They're not going to want me. They're not going to want Raven. Like, so when they message me, they're going to most of the time want me. And I think that's why we're pretty smart with the way we do our form fill now is like we put work with any coach. So then if I say coach, like ex-military, 40 years old, wants to do a show, men's physique, bro, that's screaming Dustin. So it's so easy, right? And I think that, I want to really quick back and go back to something you said, it kind of funny to me, is working early, right? So after Josh Lugo, Justin's little bitch ass hit me up. He hit me up. He's like, Matt, I need you to save my fucking life. I'm fat. I want to fucking change. I want to come see you. I remember Justin. Oh my God, but first time I seen him, dude, he was so fat. God, Justin, so fat, bro. He came in smelling like he just got out of a fucking weed farm, like a weed factory. Just like, bro, like beer like this, man, like could barely walk. Sits down to me. He's like, but you could just tell this guy had something in him. He's like, I want to fucking change my goddamn life, right? So I'm like, all right, bro, what can you do? Well, I could really do like, I think he said like 4 a.m, bro. I was like, 4 a.m, but he wanted to pay me 5 days a week.
Like,
5 days a week.
I got you.
$40 an hour. Same as Lugo. I needed that client. I had to make that money. Fuck it. Okay, I'll see you at 4 a.m.
Because if it's 5 days a week and you're selling a 10-pack, for a fact, if I get this guy every day for 5 days a week, every 2 weeks I'm getting $400.
Guess what happened after the first week? Matt, I want to go 7 days a week. Bro, I'm like, that's when I had to talk to him. Said, dude, I can't do it. Like, I cannot do 4 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week. I said, is there any way we can move your schedule around? Because at that point, guys, I had a guy at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, so I needed an 8 o'clock. I was, dude, like, let me train you at 8 or something like that. I think it was 8. And he's like, okay, man, I'll do it. So then what happened is he started training me at 8. I transformed Justin. You see him now, what a fucking gorilla beast. But you wouldn't even recognize the before pit. I got to show you when we get done. We'll put it up there. But oh my God, guys, it was unbelievable. But that man changed his life, and he really helped me out so much. Like, so much where he doesn't even know. Him and Lugo and the people who really started is the reason why I'm even here. Because let's just say for some reason I didn't get that, love from the community. I didn't get that initial reaction. Like, would I be here right now? Probably not. So, like, all the love goes back to everyone out there who's been supporting me over the years. Absolutely. And the same as you. Like, it's to the people, the relationship that we built over our life. Those are the people that, we owe that to. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have clients that, I talk to on their birthday, my birthday, they'll bring in stuff, obviously, like Christmas, we talk, stuff like that, like even like I, in rare occasions, like I love you situations, like messages or whatever, just because I'm so grateful, you spend that much time with somebody, they become part of your family.
No, they really do. Sure. I'm so close to Natalia, Brianna, Jen,
dude, so
my
cool,
girl Karini, dude. All my one-on-one clients, like even Lugo now, we're fucking brothers. Like,
exactly, that's my brother right there. And he still has fucking 8 sessions. Lugo, okay.
Somebody send him a DM, send him this time slot. Be like, hey, go watch it at this time. Lugo,
got 8 sessions, motherfucker. We got to get you in there.
He don't care about money, bro. He don't give a fuck. He's like,
fine. He's busting his ass. Plus, it's the hurricane, dude. I've been driving. I'm driving everywhere with this new job, and so dude, I'm on the key and I see. Kings Creek construction. I'm like, oh shit, he's on the key now. He's fucking sawing some shit. He's posting more, which is great. So I see him on there. But I talk to him every once in a while, and he wants to get back into it. It's just the time at this point. But one of the things that I see is like, it's very. I mean, I have similar situations, or how I came up in it as a personal training as y'all as well. But the biggest thing in terms of starting, right, and the biggest advice that I can give somebody is the first person that you're going to train is yourself. Period.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can understand the knowledge in which you are gaining, if you are going for a certification, right? Because I don't think that's it's necessary here in Florida, but a lot of the times it's mandatory at some of these
a gym. It is
commercial
mandatory.
gyms, right?
Yep.
So you go to Crunch, you have to have a certification. You go to all these other places, you got to have a certification.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. However, that shows that you have the ability and the the mental fortitude to
take a fucking test
through and go all the way through that shit and gain it, right?
Yep.
So you have a work ethic. So as long as you can do that and then practically apply that to yourself, you are your first client.
Yep.
Right. And again, that shows when you walk into a room
100%.
where you're standing in line with a bunch of trainers and you're like, okay, well, you choose who you want to train with. More than likely they're going to train the fit person, or they're going to pick the fit person, right? So then I did that. I trained myself a bunch of the times. I started pretty much in the Marine Corps. Then I started, people coming to ask me, how the fuck you do this? How do you do that? Cool. And I started training some of my military friends. And then after I got out, I wanted to do I was passionate about training. I was going for my first competition, finished my first competition. Then I was like, okay, cool. I want to do a certification process. Did that. Then I worked at 24 Hour Fitness, where they fucking rape you for fees, bro. You know what I mean?
What are we getting, like 30%,
dude,
or something like that, or $10 an hour?
Sucked ass, bro.
Yeah.
Like they were, and then it's always like you have your monthly reviews, and obviously you want to plan on how to get more clients and get more money, bring more money in for the company and all that type of stuff. But then it's like, dude, I just started and I'm already number 2 sales in the region, but I have to do more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm being looked at as a piece of shit or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, the apartment that I had, and the reason why I chose this apartment is because the gym that it had was legit. It had dumbbells from 1 to 100, which you don't really see that in too many apartment gyms. It had fucking squat racks, leg presses, lying leg curl, everything that you can imagine for a great gym. Had a steam room, a sauna, a jacuzzi. Wow. So I was kind of like, hey, you just finished your 20 pack of whatever for your training sessions. I don't know if you really want to pay this much anymore, but I can do this, and you can come to my gym and we can train there. So, I was working fucking basically 10 hours a day over here at this gym, and then I was working 5-6 hours over at my gym. And it's just...
Yeah, but no, you have to do that. You have to fucking do that. You have to hustle, man. And this is the biggest thing that I see too. Agreed. You have to have the body. Period. That starts first. What starts second is the first 5 clients you get, you have to treat right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those 5 clients are going to be spiderwebbing, guys. Yep. And the people don't understand, if you fuck up number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and now all 5 of those people, instead of saying good things about you, they're saying bad things about you, you're done, bro. Dude. You're done. So
I still have clients that I've trained in San Diego still hitting me up.
Yeah.
If I can train with you again, I'd be right there. I'm like, fuck. I know.
Exactly.
Move to Florida.
Yep. You've treated them right, and I think a lot of personal trainers, they lack the passion. You're like, dude, when I trained Mike, I didn't care about money. I just really want to help that kid. Yeah. Fuck the money, bro. I want to help this kid. I'm passionate, right? Passion goes a long way. People, you'll know right away if you're bullshitting or not, just by the passion level that they're going to have. They've 100, right? My passion is always going to be there. It's not going to go in. And if that ever fails, you won't see Mac coaching no more. You just wouldn't do it. I would fucking stop. 100%.
I mean, I think that, I call it, passion, but I call it empathy. You have to have empathy. Like,
Sure.
you have to be, that's like one of the traits you have to have as a trainer. I've seen so many trainers that are not like that. And it's just, like the number one way we get clients is word of mouth, right?
Yep.
And with that, there's 100% closing rating, right? Yeah. Because, you're, a good friend of that person, their daughter, their husband, whoever it is, vouches for you. So now you're going to, you're in money easily. So I have a couple that I trained for a while. I trained them for 6 months. They went to a pool party and at a friend's house. And then another couple saw them. They're like, "Oh my God, what have you been doing?" Mm-hmm. So then, then they sign up to train me. Then it's like, they go somewhere else. And then, it's just like the more clients you get, it's
a web.
Yeah, exactly. It just keeps going like that. And it's crazy that's how it works. But a lot of people don't understand that basic thing. It's just like, I keep, not anymore. I'm kind of slacking on it now, but I used to keep a lot of spreadsheets with each client I have, you know, everyone's phone number, all that stuff, but also how I got that client. And I would even, like, the corporate side of me would run the numbers and stuff like that and the percentages and stuff. And it was always like above 80% was all word of mouth clients. So I'm like, well, if, you know, 5% of my clients came from Facebook and 80% came from word of mouth, obviously I'm not going to focus on Facebook as much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of silly. So so just realizing that is one of the biggest first steps.
Yeah. Well, let me give you a little situation. Like, let's just say you took someone who doesn't look that good, but he looks okay, doesn't really know what he's doing, but he gives you 100%. He's got the energy. He's got the fucking fire. He doesn't care if you're doing upside down fucking bench press, but he'll have you do some crazy shit. But you generally enjoy this guy. He cares. He actually wants to fucking learn. He wants to care. Or you got this guy who looks like me and you that walk in there and says, do 3 sets and go sit on the fucking bench. Bro, who are you going to hire? Like, you're going to stay with this guy. This guy's going to build like that presence when you walk in the room with him. Be like, man, okay, here's Matt. I'm coming in here. I cannot wait to see what this guy does. We have this family. Because like you said, when you start one-on-one personal training, they become your family. Like they literally, I spend more time with Lugo than like anyone else did his entire life probably. I spent 5 hours a week with this kid. You know, Brianna 2 hours a week. Natalia, I was doing 3 hours a week there for a while. Jen, 2 hours a week. So you just become like family with them. And you have to like mentor that, man. And I feel like, who would you pick? Would you pick the guy who looks the part but doesn't give a fuck? Or would you pick the guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing but gives you 100%?
Yeah, I think we're all kind of agreeing, you know, like the first guy, you know, that's the ideal client that you want, you know, and like 10 times out of 10, you know, that's who you want. Plus, you know, like that guy is going to see how much you work with him, how much you really care, you know, once again, going back to empathy, you know, and then he's going to be so grateful. He's 100%, you're going to get some clients out of him. Yeah. But also, I want to bring up back to like around the clock. You train these guys like Justin and Lugo, and shout out to Alice. Like when she came to the gym, she looked great, but then you just took her to a whole nother level. She's fucking screaming in the gym, you know, you're just killing her. You know, everybody's stopping and watching you guys work out, right? But from day one to, we'll just say hypothetically, like 3 months down the road, people see like what they look like then and then what they look like now. And they're like, oh shit, like this guy gets results.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, like that's, you know, they're all walking billboards too.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think that's there's something to be said about that. You know, transform these motherfuckers, bro. We don't play. Like, and I think that's the thing is you see a lot of trainers that, you know, they don't really care. And I think the only reason why Justin and Alice and Lugo showed up to me every day, gave me 100% was because I was matching that energy.
Exactly.
Like, dude, I had pictures of like videos of fucking me training Alice screaming at her, like, you think you can do more? No, you can do 5 more. And she's literally screaming. Alice the fucking screamer. She's her fucking in pain, but she would push through. And, you know, shout out to her because she's actually just placed 15th Olympia. I don't know if you knew that, but in the whole world, she got 15th. So, you know, congrats to her. But I think it started from day one. You know, she had the work ethic and everything. Justin, same thing, had the work ethic to transform. Lugo, what a massive transformation, and he's a lost cause. Okay, we're gonna keep him right here. You know, he's getting
good.
there.
He'll come back. I know he will.
He'll come back.
He'll find that time again, and I'll start busting his ass again.
I think he got a new girlfriend. I think that's what it is. He gets a new girlfriend. He gets a new girlfriend, and then disappears, and then he texts us when something happens. But no, he's happy. But
to Dustin's point, like, you know, looking the part, you know, if you can go from, you know, maybe like, you know, just a normal looking guy, you know what I mean, then, you know, like train yourself to be like, you're super shredded. You're in such good shape. People are staring at you while you're working out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of trainers that don't look the part, and nothing against that, I guess. But there's also like a mental part about the client. You know, like when you're training, there's a whole mental battle that you're going through every day. Like Lugo, you know, he works his ass off, and then he's gonna go train. Like, you know, how does he get the energy, stuff like that, right? So, So you have to go through that in order to know what they're dealing with, in order to be able to help them.
Exactly.
You know, like you can't, you know, if you've never dealt with any of that, or, you know, if you can't even get yourself into that shape, you can't even win the mental battle on your own. Then how are you going to expect your client to do that? That's crazy.
Well, you won't.
Yeah.
You literally won't.
I mean, I've gotten clients just because they know that I'm a father, you know. Yeah. And I have 2 kids, and I'm still able to make transformations and bust my ass to my abilities. And then also, like we're all talking about, is give that same energy to my clients and make them succeed as well. So, you know, again, it's what you show, how you show, dude. Like Lucy, shout out to you. Mary over there in San Diego. Dude, I used to have these girls running around running around the gym. Like, okay, dude, I had them doing like circuits and shit. Boom, running around here, going down the stairs, back up the stairs, running around her. You know what I mean?
You know, it's pretty
Lifting
funny.
this, that, and the other, jumping. Like,
oh, you do some crazy shit because you care.
Dude, you want to train with Dustin? Like, oh man, he looks intense.
Yeah, man. But you gotta do a little bit of that. You know, like it's funny, like when you're having a client do like farmers carries around the gym, whatever it is. People's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "We're working out. What are you doing over there?
Exactly.
Do you want to do this, or you just want to come walk on a treadmill and stare at other people?" You know.
I think that, you know, I really was intimidating clients. We have a completely different training style, right? I think, in my opinion, I wanted to train those hardcore people, the people that just want to fucking go in there and fuck shit up. And like all the nice, like, oh, Josh looks nice. I'm gonna go over here with Josh. And like we did get different clients, like 100%. I mean,
I think that worked out, and
it did.
That kind of, you know, like it helped both of us. And there's times when we helped each other get clients. You know, like I had somebody that came to me and I was like, you're more like, you know, like looking for Matt. And then, you know, there's clients that you gave me too. And it's all good. I mean, the world's abundant. You know? Nobody's going to go, you know, no one's going to go broke, you know, with someone else taking their clients and shit like that. Like,
so let's talk a little about that. You know, like I think the biggest thing that pisses me off is when coaches are different. Like we train in the same facility, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. One of your clients did reach out to me and try to get training. I said, look, like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I respect Josh. He's an awesome fucking guy. Like, he busts his ass. I see what he does. Like, you've been with him for a while. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm just saying, like, I ended up telling her no, of course. And I think I might even talked about that back in the day. Maybe I did. I think I mentioned it to you, or maybe I didn't. I was like, I don't want to mess with you, but either way. But I had enough respect for you to not do that shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And would we even have this relationship today if I was just sharking all Josh's fucking clients? Like, there has to be some kind of fucking, like boundaries, some kind of respect for trainers. Like if you're in the same town, you know, and you know, I had to call Drew. Like, let's be honest, I called Drew because I had an athlete on the team. I had a 12-week, I think he was like 12 weeks out, looking phenomenal. Honestly, I'll drop crazy transformation. Anastasia, I'll call. I don't even care. I'll talk about it. Anastasia, phenomenal, right? Long story short, she drops me as a coach, and then I find out she was with Drew, and I'm like, Drew's my fucking boy. Like, bro, just call me. Like, if my client wanted to go, I'm good with that. Like, I'm fine with it. Just have enough respect to pick up the phone and be like, hey, Matt, this is what's going on. So I actually called Drew. We had all that handled, right? Not a problem at all. But that is the biggest thing that pisses me the fuck off. Like, and I'm going to be honest with you. Dominic Fanti, my arch nemesis, right? The reason why we're not friends is because all of his clients wanted to come to me, right? And the first client that ever wanted to come to me, it was bad. He treated him like shit. This guy's a horrible coach. The worst coach on this fucking planet, that's Dominic Fanti. I'm just going to say it. But horrible. Oh my God. So Heath actually hit me up, called me balling, bro. Balling 4 weeks out. He called me 6 weeks out again, balling. Called me 4 weeks out, crying on the phone, saying that he's not responding. He's seen me in the gym. He's ignoring me. Like, you know, he's a really nice guy. He really cares. Long story short, me and Dominic are cool at this point. I said, all right, bro, listen, I cannot take you unless I have a conversation with Dominic. I know, I get it. I understand. I have to talk to Dom first. I'll let you know how it goes. Hung up with him, talked to Dominic. I said, hey, bro, this is what's going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on your end. Like, is there something you guys could work out? And he's like, oh, you know, that's fine. Just, you know, he can just work with you. That's fine. No big deal. Immediate beef with me and this kid, even though I had the respect to fucking call this motherfucker. Crazy. And that's kind of where it started, right? Yeah. But there has to be respect. Like, even like, I would never just take a client. I have to call that coach. So what are you guys' opinions on that?
I mean, that's what I was going to talk about is just, you know, what we were talking about, you guys working in the same gym, hey, you would be great with Josh. Hey, you would be great with Matt. Boom, and passing clients back and forth. There doesn't need to be any sort of competition between coaches, more of a mutual respect. Specifically, if we're here in the same city, I don't understand how there are some potential coaches that just act like a certain way, and they want to have a certain vibe and negativity about them and make it like, oh yeah, my team and we're like, it's basically like a gang, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I know.
Yeah, it's us versus who the fuck are you? We're not repping a set.
We're not in New York City where they're like, this is my block,
you know
motherfucker. Like, this isn't like the Irish versus the Italians.
It's abundant.
Yeah.
There's enough room for all of us here, and there's also enough room for all of us to learn from each other.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why don't we have a collective group of great fucking trainers with great knowledge who can fucking ping shit off of each other?
I tried that, didn't work out, buddy.
Jesus Christ,
I tried that,
bro.
The funny thing is, like, so, like, the world is abundant, right? There's enough clients to go around, right? But our schedules are not. You know what I mean? We're limited, bro. I'm tapped out right now. I have like one spot where I could take a client, maybe, right? But like so I don't need to be stealing clients and stuff like that. It's like a dude that's trying to like bang his friend's girlfriend. Like, come on, bro.
Like, what the fuck?
Like I get bitches. I don't need to do some shady stuff to like try to get girls. You know what I mean? The same thing with clients. Like I get clients. I have a million different avenues to get clients. Same as you, right?
And even if you lost a client, you're not gonna like get too upset. Like, let's just say your client did want to come to me, right? If I had the balls to come to you as a friend and a coach, like, hey man, this what's going on, and we talk about it, would you even think anything twice? Because you make so much money, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Fine, right? Unless it's like somebody really big, then whatever. Maybe we'll have a talk. But then maybe I'll just have respect for you not to even take them, right? But what like, why do people do that?
I don't know, man.
I don't fucking get it.
It's like
they try to shock your client.
Yeah.
Like they actively are in their DMs.
It's literally like a fight or flight mode. They're like just can't get stuff on their own, so they gotta do some shady stuff behind your back or whatever, go after your clients. Like, that's not cool. But like, if that's how you roll, that's how you roll. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that happen quite a bit where, you know, like I hear of that happening, or, you know, someone, maybe an excuse to be like, oh, it's on the client, it's on her. You know, what they want to do is up to them. You know, like, no, that's not cool, man. Like,
I mean, I think a perfect example was Zeke. Remember what we talked about with Zeke?
Oh yeah.
Remember that? What did I do with Zeke? Remember when he wanted to join the team and I went to Patriot?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You said no. You know, no more room, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it out of respect to Josh, because at that moment he wanted to join the team, and I knew that we were in a transitioning phase going over to Patriot, and I would never disrespect you like that because you brought me him. You were like, hey man, go to Matt. If you want to join a team, I know he's having, I don't know, hopefully he's doing better now, but I know he's having a little bit of trouble. Maybe he'd do good on your team. We had a meeting, and then literally right after that meeting is when I think something happened where we just decided as a team to go over to Patriot. And no, we got that. It was Homeboy messaged me. He's like, something about Patriot, long story short. But I chose not to take Zeke. I couldn't do it. And I literally told him, said, dude, I can't do it. Like, and he still was actively messaging me, you know, nice guy, super nice guy. Maybe would have loved to have him on the team, but out of respect to you, I couldn't do it because you gave me that client. You brought him here. He's a coach at your gym. I'm not going to do that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Honestly, like, I think, you know, I really like what you're doing. Like, you have, like, some mentor stuff going on. You know, I know you helped Dustin kind of get started and with some other people like Raven, all that stuff. But it's funny, like, I see... Like, I kind of started to try to do that, but then I have people asking me silly questions. Like, they're like, oh, how do I do this billing? How do I do that? How do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ask anybody. You know, you didn't ask anybody when you got started. Nobody set all your stuff up for you and then you got going, right? So I almost think it's like a rite of passage. Like, you got to figure it out on your own. I'm happy to answer any questions, but you got to figure some stuff out on your own.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't skip steps. You know, you got to work, like we talk about work ethic. You got to figure it out on your own. You got to get there. Otherwise, you're not gonna be successful.
Yeah. I think, you know, 100%. And I think a little difference probably between, like, I think I've learned a lot in my career. So when I was looking at bringing Dustin on the team, bringing Raymond on the team, bringing Jen on the team, these guys already had a great thing going, right? It's just, how can I make it better, right? How can I make Jen's business better? How can I make Raven's business better? How can I take Dustin and just improve on what he's already doing, right? And I think that's when a lot of people mess up, especially business owners. It's rare. Like you said, 1 out of 99 maybe might do it. Take somebody and transform them and make them like you. No one's ever going to be you. Let's get that straight. No one's ever going to be you. They're not going to have the passion you're going to have, because if you don't make the money, do you have any backup?
No.
I have no fucking backup. It's me or nobody.
Yep, exactly.
So when I was broke, I had to go get another fucking job. If I didn't make enough money, I had to get 2 jobs, or I had to do this, or I had to do that, or I had to hustle and fucking grind, you know? And I don't think people are not built for it, unfortunately.
I mean, what I did was I actually worked at your boy Big Serb in between like nonstop closing and then, you know, me doing my own thing. I did that for like 2 weeks or whatever, kind of trying to make that work. But I always kind of had a job, and I'm building my side hustle. That's what you call it. Building my side hustle on the side. Then, you know, once I'm making more money doing that, then I'm just going to go full bore, you know, on that.
Yeah.
What drives me crazy sometimes is some of these trainers that want to be a 100% full-time trainer, want to build their business, but they have like a full-time job. Like, it's going to be so hard. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to work 40 hours and build your training business forever, you know?
Yeah.
And if you have a backup plan, that's always going to be there. You know what I mean? Like, having a plan B is planning to fail, right? You just need one plan. You need to execute it, keep at it. You know what I mean? You're not going to be, you're going to fail sometimes. You're not going to be successful 100% of the time in everything that you try to do. But, if you just keep at it, you're going to make it work if you have to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's about like knowledge about, like you're saying, not knowing how to do things, but still going to try to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. This is my plan A. My plan A is to be a freaking trainer, a coach, athlete. Awesome. How am I going to get there? All right. Shit. I just found a dead end in the road. Now I got to figure out another way to go around. There's no plan B. There's just an adaptation or evolution to what I was previously doing to make it better or to, again, overcome that obstacle. But yes, you just got to keep moving forward regardless of every obstacle that you face.
I feel the same way. We might disagree with this. I don't know.
Let me hear it.
But I feel the same way about competitors at a really high level that are, say they're, obviously love working out, competing, trying to go pro, and trying to start your personal training business. The two things both take immense amount of effort and are so challenging. I mean, maybe, like going pro is even harder. Well, obviously going pro is harder, but competing and getting to that level is so hard. You're not going to wake up at 4 a.m. and train Lugo. And, while you're
well, I did. Well, in 2021, the thing is, it takes a different kind of fucking monster, okay? And I am built different, all right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think I am because, bro, I remember prepping for my show in 2021 when I won that overall, dude. I was training 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, bro. I was training crazy. 4 hours a day. I remember because I used to train 4 hours a day. And then I was really looking forward to my fucking protein shake because I had an hour. I didn't have time to eat food. I had to make a protein shake, drink the protein shake, then just start training again pretty much right after that. So it was fucking brutal. Yes, but I 100% agree with you. Like, you cannot do both. That was a one thing, 2 time. That was a 2-time thing, but you cannot do that shit year round. And I think that also, I know a lot of competitors that won't even hire an active bodybuilder. They won't even hire him because they know that the problem is, and to your point, the problem is a lot of people who compete are very self-absorbed. They only give a fuck about themselves. Yeah. They don't care about nobody else because it's my prep. I don't care about getting in your plan. I have to get my meal in. I have to cook my food. When you're a business owner, you're doing it for yourself. He'll talk about this too because he just got done doing it all last year, and I just got done it all last year. But you could do it. It's hard. And if I was a coach or if I was an athlete and I was looking at hiring somebody and you were pro, or let's say you were not even pro, but you're just a great coach. You're a pro, great coach, but you have a prep coming up. I'm picking you because I know he's still competing.
Exactly. And that's coming from somebody on the outside, looking in and like kind of trying to choose which ones. And I would agree with you. If I am an outsider looking in, I won't necessarily want to pick somebody who is actually actively going through a prep versus somebody who is just a coach.
Yeah.
And I get that. However, wouldn't you agree? I fucking feel like I was way more efficient when I was going through my prep, dude. I swear to God, I was on top of my shit so quickly. And, now I have a second job and I kind of got to bust my ass through there. Yeah. And so it's not that I've fallen off, but I feel like there are certain things that I've kind of, it's just hard to deal with and manage everything at once. However, when I was on my prep, dude, like my shit was on.
You're on point.
My shit was
you
solid.
are, but not a lot of people could do that. No. In something you might. You've never done a bodybuilding show, right? Or have you?
I have. Yeah, I did one.
You did one?
Well, actually, your buddy Dominic Fanti was coaching me.
Oh no, worst coach ever. It's okay though. Honestly, guys, if I had a coach, every coach in the world, he's my arch nemesis, so he's always on my vote is he's the worst ever. Okay, worst was the devil. You're negative 1,000. But
I'm not saying I disagree with that. I don't really know him tremendously well, right? But one little thing I would say, and on his behalf, is I wanted to do it natural. He asked me one time if I was going to take any drugs. I said I didn't want to. He never bothered me about that again.
That's awesome.
I didn't have very much help posing, so I kind of look silly on stage. But
right. Listen, no coach is perfect. Let's be honest. He just worships the devil, and I'm not fucking with that. Anyway, but no, man, it's tough. And I think, again, I think we both strategically chose that last year because I knew I was going to have Dustin help me, and I let Dustin go first. And then when it was my turn, it was my turn, and then Dustin didn't prep, right? So you have to do it right.
That's
but
good, yeah.
Either way, it's still really, really tough, So yeah, just looking back, what would you tell your earlier self today if? I'm talking like before let's say nonstop. What would you tell yourself then before you own the gym, before anything? Is there any advice you give yourself?
So I would definitely have told myself, because like I said, it wasn't even in the back of my mind yet that I was going to do this. So I would tell myself to kind of get ready, start absorbing more information from like Mike or, anybody at the gym to figure that stuff out. I'm super happy, honestly, with how things everything worked out. One thing, I didn't save very much money from around the clock, and we were from nonstop, and we were rolling in it. Like we had basically no overhead. You know what I mean? Now I have like, it's crazy how much money I pay. You know, like, but,
hey, you know, I don't really have much overhead. You know, that's why I love my business. I still don't have any overhead, but I just took a totally different route than you did. So
I know, that's why I bug you once in a while about opening a gym, and I'm like, you should do it, but it kind of sucks sometimes too, because it's just like a lot.
I feel like, but once you're there, you're there. You know, it sucks in the beginning, but once I feel like you got enough to at least be profitable, then it's kind of good. Like I know we were talking to Tommy and John, I think a few months ago, they started hitting profit now. So now they're going to start looking into opening up another spot in Sarasota. But they said the same thing. It's really tough in the beginning. Yeah. Like it's really hard.
Yeah. But I mean, back to your question, what I would tell anybody else, like starting out, any trainer wise, first of all, I would say going the safe route and, you know, or, you know, having somebody like you mentor them. Or, you know, me, I don't love to do that, but, you know, just finding somebody that is where you want to be and do whatever you can. I mean, train, you know, become their client, you know, have them train you, you know what I mean? Whatever, like you have to spend money to make money, you know, you have to invest in something. So, you know, maybe start there, but whatever it is, you know, be patient. You can't skip steps. You have to be patient. You can't go from, hey, I want to be a trainer to, you know, I want to be
to Matt
Brown.
Or you. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's you have to be patient. You have to play a small game, and you know the biggest thing is connections. I think too. You know, like we talked about being empathetic, having that passion. You know, you have to meet a lot of people. I've worked around Sarasota for like 8 years now. I know like everywhere I go, I see somebody from around the clock or somebody from wherever. You know, and it's like or my barber was just telling me that he had some like photo shoot done for his like barber bus or whatever, like a side business. And he just mentioned the gym, and people knew I was the owner of the gym just by, you know, like him mentioning the name. They're like, oh my God, I know Josh, or at the grocery store or whatever. Just like see people all the time. I'm sure you guys run into people constantly as well.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's actually psychotic how many people I run into. And shout out to all you guys, because it is very humbling.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. I appreciate it. I mean, taking Marie out to dinner last weekend.
Do you ever like go to Publix and you see somebody in like a Warrior shirt that you don't even know?
I've never done that, not yet. But there's in the gyms, yes. Like I would be, I saw like your client yesterday. Oh, which one? Oh, and I'm like, we have so many people that wear our shirt now. Like it's a lot. So what were you saying about the?
No, just being at the restaurant and people coming up to me. Hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like some of the workers at the restaurant and stuff like that. It was pretty interesting.
I'll send him one of the most humbling moments for me is when I was in, I think it was Texas, when I went to Texas Nationals. Not even Texas Nationals, it was for Texas Jose's first show. And I had like 4 people be like, dude, I see what you're doing, bro. Like,
awesome. And
it's so humbling. Actually, no, it's Emily's fucking show. I had this guy, pro bodybuilder, comes up and he's like, dude, he's like, you're Warrior guy, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, Warrior Sex. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, he's like, last year I didn't even know who you were. This year I feel like you're everywhere. Like good for you. And then he started giving me advice, trying to get some advice from me for his girlfriend. Her name was Cara, and now she's actually working with me, which is awesome. And now I'm going to be coaching her next year. But she was like, okay, she's prepping. What should I do? And it's crazy. I'm sitting here. I'm second year of business. Pro's talking to me. He should know more than me. He's looking at me like I know everything, and I don't know everything. I know a lot now. I know a lot now, but I didn't know everything at the time. And I'm giving him advice and hearing his thought process. I'm like, no, you're not doing that right. Like this is what you're doing right. And I firmly believe that. And it was so cool connecting with people from out of state. Like I was telling him, just wait till you go out of state for the first time. Like now I'm going to California, and everyone's coming up to me. All the judges, all the fucking people from Instagram, the Warrior Talk. Dude, everywhere we go now, people are like, oh, we see your podcast, man. It's killing it. Like keep going. Like just because we've gotten the right people on the podcast that we, in the beginning, we really got it. But either way, it's very, very, very humbling. So, and I think Sarasota is even smaller. People don't understand how small Sarasota actually is.
It really is, dude.
That's sick.
We know people everywhere.
Man, one of the funniest flexes is when like Amped Fitness opened and they had like, their opening day, they had like this promo video or whatever. And so it's like people walking in, checking in, whatever. I saw like in their video 2 people that were wearing my my old shirts, like Wilson Warriors.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so funny. It's like free advertising for me,
Exactly. But, so fucking cool.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll see people that are like, they're like, oh, Warrior Aesthetics. And I'm like, they have names, bro. Like,
no, I know.
That's not their first name Warrior.
That's awesome. It's funny because I started working with this social media guy. He's like, dude, we got to change your name. I'm like, I don't know if I can. Like, I really went to battle with that because a lot of people know me as the Warrior guy. Just weird. And
what the fuck did he want you to change your name?
Just like Matt Blount, because he feels like for the Instagram algorithm, I guess it does better if you have an actual name. So I remember when I had Warrior Aesthetics first, and then you said named his Wilson Warriors, and like all my comments were like, bro, that motherfucker's over there calling this Wilson Warriors. I remember Lugo, like he was like, that guy over there. I didn't really care. I really didn't care. I was fine. I'm like, dude, it's totally fine. It's a fucking name. But it was funny. We had kind of like the same kind of name.
I know.
You know?
I thought about it. Was like an afterthought, and I was like, oh shit. Matt's stuff's the same. So they're like, people are like, are you guys on the same team or whatever?
Yeah, they did. They asked that. Like, are you and Josh working together? And I'm like, no, we're separate. He just decided to name Wilson Warriors.
These motherfuckers are crazy. I'm not on their team.
Yeah, and I think our logo, didn't you have like a little Spartan on there or something too, or something? Yeah. So it was so similar, but I didn't really care. I was totally good with it.
But whenever anyone would ask me, I'm like, Matt had the name first.
All right.
You know, because I'm like, you know, I gotta give him credit. But
I think I've had that name since I was like 2015, 2013, maybe even 2013.
It was a while ago, and I'm like, because I did everything like, okay, one thing I wouldn't have done right away is, I mean, hopefully IRS is not listening in right now. But
we talk about steroids all the time.
I did everything super legit, like I have a C corp.
Yeah.
But I did everything like super legit, like from day one.
Right.
And I would have like chilled out for a little bit. You know what I mean? I would have not done that right away because like you have like sales tax and all this stupid stuff, and like it became pretty overwhelming. Where I could have just used Venmo for a little bit until I, figured some things out.
So the problem is so I didn't either. I didn't open up nothing. I just did everything for the first 2.5 years pretty much. I just had everyone Venmo me, no problem. I always did my taxes at the end of the year, and I would just work for myself. That's kind of how I was at I think I had an LLC open. I worked for myself. All the money got deposited. The problem with that is you have to. If you claim $200,000 a year, but motherfucker, you have to pay a bunch of taxes at the end of the year, right? So you're trying to make all these. Oh, I didn't do this. So at the end of the year, you only got. I proved $30,000 the first couple of years, Now I did have a lot of fucking write-offs, but the problem with that is when you go to a bank and you're only showing, hey, I want to buy a house. And what's in your tax statement last year? You only made $30,000. Yeah, but I really made 200. But no, you only made 30 because this is all negative, right? So that's the problem. Personal trainers need to fix immediately. If you're making over $2,000 a month, start paying yourself payroll. Start paying taxes in and start paying yourself. That way, when you go want to buy a house or want to buy a car, you say, hey, guess what? I have $100,000. I'm paying myself $100,000 a year. This is what I have, and then this all goes to the business or write-offs or whatever you have to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're doing it right now.
Yeah, I remember when I first started. Like, it was within that first year where I didn't even have like last year's taxes yet, you know what I mean? So I was kind of stuck, and I remember I went to go buy a truck, and they were like, yeah, we just need like your tax return from last year. I'm like, well, it's kind of, like not really there yet. Like it doesn't give a lot of information. And I was able to just print out my bank statements.
Yeah.
I like
for cars they'll allow you to do that.
Personal bank account. They just want to sell the car.
Exactly.
They're like, all right, you're good.
Give a shit.
You're good right away.
But good luck buying a house.
Yeah.
They'll never let you buy a house unless you are claiming it, right? And I'm sure your shit's a lot different now.
Yeah. So I lucked out. My wife owns her house.
Nice.
So we moved. That's why I moved to Northport because I'm like, that I was paying over $2,000 for an apartment 5 minutes from the gym, like the shitty little apartment in the ghetto. And I kept that for a little bit, and she would stay with me. She worked remote. She would stay with me once in a while, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to drive from Northport to Sarasota every day. But I really don't want to pay, like upwards of $2,000 for no reason. So I had to like make a decision.
So you're paying gas money now, but at least you're saving money.
Saving $24,000 a year, dude.
Yeah, and then like us as trainers, we charge people. I know you don't even really do any 30-minute sessions, so we do like hours. So then you factor in, okay, it takes me 30 minutes to get there at the very least, and 30 minutes to get home. That's an hour of my time. That's $90, $100, $120.
Yep.
So is that, that's I'm wasting time now. There's only like 12 hours, where I'm actually going to be at the gym or, going to be willing to work. Yeah. So you have to think about that stuff too. Yeah.
So I got a few questions for you. So you said you started at $8 an hour. That's what you were charging personal training?
So
that's what you received from the cut.
Yeah. Okay. So
how much were they charging?
They were charging like 40, 45 for 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you charging now?
Now I honestly, still have a lot of my clients that I've had for like 5 years.
You're going to honor that.
So I'm still at like a lot of people like pre-COVID prices.
Yep.
Obviously, the gym is mine, so I'm not paying anybody anything else.
100% profit now, yeah.
So I charge like for an hour like around 75. I do a lot of 30-minute sessions, and when I can squeeze a 30-minute session back to back, I'll charge 45, maybe 50 for a 30-minute session. So
Gotcha.
like today I had like 13 sessions.
You had 30 sessions today.
Yeah.
What a savage, bro. Still
Yeah.
grinding.
13
dude.
half-hour sessions?
It was a
Just
mix.
a mix.
It was mostly half hours, but I started at 5 in the morning. I was at the gym at 5 in the morning for my first client. So I have a few 30-minute sessions first thing in the morning. But one thing, I mean, I train a lot of older people, so 30 minutes is sufficient for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I give everybody a customized stretching routine of
Right.
like 15 minutes, right? So our session's at 9. You come in at 8:45. I want you to do these 4 stretches. You're going to be all warmed up, ready for me. After our 30-minute session, then, you're going to go do cardio or whatever.
Exactly.
You don't need to pay for an hour when I'm going to sit there and watch you walk on a treadmill,
Yeah. So another question for you. What was the amount of money that you made one month where you're like, wow, I'm doing this shit. Like, I'm doing this.
Dude, so...
Because I know what month it was for me, and I could talk about it. I want to hear your side.
Literally the last month of nonstop. So, like... Well, there was like 2 or 3 months in a row, right?
Yeah.
But right before they like just chopped us down, right? I was making like 13 grand a month doing that, and I was like, only paying $500. I was like, fuck, and that's just personal training.
12 grand profit. That's really fucking good.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything else at all. So, and I was at the gym. I would just pack all my food, come to the gym, train a bunch of people. I was training for powerlifting at the time, so I'd work out when I could, eat all day, be there all day.
How did you feel when you saw the bank statement at the end of the month?
I felt good, man.
Yeah?
Felt good.
Like all your hard work has paid off?
Yeah. It was like, honestly, I do remember, like this is funny, but I remember calling my mom, and I would be like just overwhelmed about stuff. Like I would get a new client like 4 times a week, and I'm like, fuck, like, I don't know how I'm going to work this out. I don't know how I'm going to do this, and I would be like, just like overwhelmed, but in a good way, like it's good to be overwhelmed and then figure it out. And then you keep going. But it was just like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Cause previously at Around the Clock, like I said, I was making like 60 grand.
Yeah.
I made like 60 grand a year. Then I'm making like 12, 13 grand a month.
Yeah.
And that was like a huge step. And I was just kind of like, wow.
And that's life changing.
Yeah.
Like that's life changing money. When you go from like making even 100 grand a year, what's that, 7,000, about 8,000 bucks a month, and then going to 13 by having almost no overhead and being your own boss, like that feels good.
Yeah, dude, it's so
It's
sick.
definitely a come up for sure. Because not a lot of people are doing that. Like not a lot of people are making over like 1,000, let alone that much.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's like we joked about talking to Zeke when he was asking about how much money could I make, and sometimes, not to pick on him at all, but when somebody's like interested in training and that's one of the first questions that they ask, that it's probably not a good fit for them.
Exactly.
You know what I
Because
mean?
they're chasing the money, not the actual job.
Yeah,
you got a passion.
I made so I was chasing money when I was making 60 grand, right?
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to be happy and do my own thing, and I
Yeah.
made way more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you can make crazy amount. It's crazy. It's insane. I mean, that's doctors.
It's crazy to me that you're making that much money just with one-on-one training. Like, could you imagine if you did fucking online training on top of that?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
More passive.
Yeah.
You know what's
Well,
like?
it's not passive, but
It's a lot easier to get that 13, go 13 up. I'm sure you're way more now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, to me at that time, I was just like grind, like like that was like once I got a taste of that money, I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
But then like now I realize after the gym and just being like crazy stressed out and like making it through those leveling up to that next level and stuff like that, you kind of learn that like there's a lot with stress management and things like that, and obviously more money, more problems, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of learn that I walk away from money a lot right now, or I leave money on the table. Like for a silly example, but at my gym, I don't do any additional sign up fee. I don't do like an annual fee, 6 months, and whatever. And I don't do like cancellation fees. I don't do a 30-day notice. That's like that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
People expect to pay that, so it's not like they would bat an eye if you.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you hit Yeah,
you've learned that from previous freaking gyms, though. You know that's just a deterrent and it's just a pain in the ass for these.
That's very true.
And stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I got an annual. Fuck. Where did this $100 come from?
Bro, I have to get equipment for the gym, bro.
Sorry, yeah,
I have to get you new ropes for the gym.
Yeah, but where are the ropes?
The ropes are coming.
When?
They're gonna come next month, I promise.
Right? So you get
3 hours, 3 years later.
Yeah, right. And then it's like, oh yeah, well I want to cancel my. Well, you have to give us a 30-day notice.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. That's
like,
crazy
what?
to me.
How?
Especially when somebody wants to cancel their training.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you signed up for a 6-month minimum, so you have to keep training. After 3 months, they don't want to train anymore. If you don't want to train with me, I do not want to train you.
No, 100%.
I promise you, I beat you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do not want to train. That's weird as fuck to me.
It's just nuts. Yeah, that and then the 30 days and then cancellation fee and then we also have to charge you an extra month.
Yeah. You got to do 2 months before we can cancel you.
Like, what the fuck?
This fucking it's just corporate, man. It's corporate.
But
Like at the end of the day, it's $10. Like most of these gyms are $10 a month. Like I think you charge a little bit more, but it's worth it. You get a little more privacy. You get a little more seclusion. So I think that's good. You know, I think the thing you said the most. I think I'll know right away if you're going to be successful on your ability to handle stress. I think if you can handle stress and you can be in a stressed environment and stay calm, collected, and push through, you'll make money and you'll be successful. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's crazy the things that even all of us now, any little minor thing that used to stress you out like crazy, like you couldn't even finish your day because something, like I don't even know an example, but something silly happened. Now you don't even bat an eye.
Or like you go to, a lot of these people, bro, there's weak ass fucking America. They go to Starbucks, they're out of their pumpkin spice latte. Oh my God, my anxiety is attacking. Oh my, bro, people with their anxiety attacks, like it's
fuck your anxiety,
you fucking pussies. Like you pussies, you're lazy. You don't want to work. You're making excuses, dude. Like, and this is those. It's embarrassing, man. It's like when I used to serve tables. Like I used to see people, the same people, bitching and complaining about not making any fucking money. I'm broke. I have nothing going. Those are the same people asking to leave early. Those are the same people not staying late. Those are the same people coming into fucking late to work. You have a shit work ethic.
Yeah. Same people asking to take your, if you can take their shift.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, can you take my shift? I thought you
needed money.
I thought you have no rent money. Oh well, I just really want to go to this rave on Sunday or Saturday. Like I want to go to this rave.
Your
fucking losers,
is not
bro.
Magically get better.
Yeah, you're always going to be broke. And the thing is exactly what you said, it's your work ethic, bro. Work ethic. We have work ethic. We're going to keep showing that we have work ethic. And, you have a gym to show for it. Like, this is why. All of your hard work, all your years, man, is the reason why you have the vault. And it's on you, man. And again, it's the little seed you're planting in all the people around you. Like, and anyone who we talk to, everyone says good things about you. Yep. Every person. 100%. I've actually never once in my entire life heard anyone say anything negative about you. Maybe I lied one time. Okay, because you stole my fucking name. All right, because you stole my name. So people are running their mouth. But all right, last question. We'll wrap it up. Do you still eat when training clients?
I don't do that anymore. Yeah.
There we go. There we go, guys.
You hit me over the head with a bat enough. I got all the sneaky little messages. Yeah. So I do listen to your podcast.
Do you?
I'm like,
That's
I know
awesome.
He's talking about me right now.
That's awesome. You know what? To be honest, man, it's you and it's also Edith. Like, it's guys. She's gonna hate me for this. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. These people pay you your hard-earned money, and bro, Edith's like eating while training. And I'm like, what are we doing? You just walked in the fucking door. You pull out a meal. Like, it's just crazy to me,
That's why I said something about being a competitor and trying to be like a full-time trainer, because I know you have to eat every 3 hours. You have to do these certain things. And I know that your clients understand it, but you can't prioritize your own training over, what they're paying you to do, especially while they're paying you to do it.
Yeah. And again, I don't know many better athletes than Edith in this town. There's not many, man. That girl just got second, almost qualified for the Open fucking Olympia. So she's amazing. Like, she definitely puts it in there. But when it comes to training, you have to have passion. You have to, you have to be able to cut that out, which I was just busting your chops there. I did make a video about that. And it wasn't actually about you. It's because I would sit there and I'd be training my clients like, all right, 5 more. And I look over like, you're eating, and then Edith's eating. Why the fuck am I not eating? Okay, I need food. I'm fucking hungry. But that was a funny thing. So I want to ask you that. But yeah, man, brother, it's so good to have you on this podcast, man. We could talk about this all day. Camera's dying. Thank you so much for all your inspiration, man, to the community, and you bring a lot back. So if you guys don't know, Josh the Vault is over there on 17th Street between 12th.
Fitness. Go and check them out, y'all.
Yes,
amazing.
Sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We greatly appreciate you having here. And again, I really appreciate and very grateful for the opportunity that you gave me over at the Vault.
Yes.
You know, and
Same.
so yeah, we thank you, thank you very much.
He gave us a home when Bick is a piece of shit, loser, scumbag, weirdo. You know, probably a molester. I don't know. I just don't like that motherfucker, and I don't care. He can see this. But anyway, thank you so much for all that.
Thank you, man.
Anytime finish this trash.
Thank
Later,
you
brother.
guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, brother. Later, man.
Like, follow, subscribe, hit
go.
the bell notification so you know when we're posting more of these vids, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go.
Let's get it.